the Balls Podcast
with Mark Davis, Krista Meinhardt, Luke Rule, Jake Winnikine, Alan Tomasella, and Nick the Doc Skirkle. Hello, it is Wednesday, September 18th, Luke 2024. This is All About the Balls Podcast. Yes, I am Mark Davis. That is Luke Rule. Nick the Doc Skirkle should be joining us. Same with Jake Winnikine once he gets home from church. Luke, you weren't here last night. We had a fun episode. Tony was in last night. Didn't know if you caught an eye on that one. He was able to make the stream, and he had some good takes. Also, he's living on cloud nine with the Miami Hurricanes kicking ass right now. But how are you doing as we're about to roll into week 3 of the NFL season, week 4 of college football season, UCF on a bye week, Baltimore, and a must-win game. Yep. We will talk about that very, very shortly. How are you feeling about the Ravens, though?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good reason the season's 17 weeks and not 2 weeks. So you can act like all these 2-0 teams won the Super Bowl already, and these 0-2 teams are fucking drafting top 5, which is not reality. It's usually a race of 10 wins. Once you get to 10 wins, you probably have a good shot at making the playoffs. And guess what? We gave ourselves 15 weeks to make 10 wins. So a little tougher situation, but I think it's a good team. Ravens a good team still. Just can't gotta find a way to finish games.
I agree with you there. It is a 17-game schedule, and like you said, 2-0 teams, they're not probably all going to be there at the end of the season. All these 0-2 teams, they're probably not going to be where they're at the end of the season. But it is a little alarming because of the new 17 17 for each conference. I think only 2 have made it when they finished 0-2. And I believe those are like recent, like last year and the year before that. So it is a little alarming. Your defense is giving up
some 0-2 teams that won Super Bowls. Talk about Patriots, Giants. Yep, they've
Cowboys
done it
back in the 90s.
Yeah, so it's not the end of the world. So
it's not the end of the world, but it is a little alarming. Your team, they are last against the pass. They do get sacks, but they give up a lot of yards. The points, obviously, you're the best team against the run. Now, don't know how much teams run against you if they're passing the ball. I don't. I have to look at the attempts, but. So hopefully your defense figures it out. Luke, obviously. Hopefully your offensive line figures it out too. I think those were the 2 biggest question marks on your team. I mean, at least the defense was for me, the offensive line for you. But no, Luke, like last night, you weren't here. Like I said, I was on cloud 9 myself. Atlanta coming off that comeback, game-winning drive against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now we have to go play the bigger foe, the reigning champion Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday Night Football in Atlanta. So that's going to be tough there. And then, of course, Texas – we will see who starts, if it's Arch Manning or if Quinn Ewers is going to be healthy. I think it's going to be Manning. And, yeah, Jake, both of your teams are struggling. Hurry up and get in the show so we can talk about how bad both of your teams suck. So let's get in there. But, Luke, before we jump in, because we're not going to talk much Texas tonight, do you think Quinn should sit? Not because he's boring, but, like, truthfully, do you think he should sit, rest the ribs, they add them in a little bit, get healthy for SEC play, and let little Manning start?
Yeah, why not? I mean, you're playing a team you should beat anyways. So why risk putting? Yeah. So I think you guys will be fine with Arch playing this game. Let Manning get his ribs ready before you guys go play OU in the Cotton Bowl.
Well, Arch could probably start against Mississippi State the week before, or 2 weeks before OU. I think we're on an off week though, in between Mississippi State and Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'm set a few weeks. I don't even know when he got hurt. Like the play he looked like he got hurt on was like a handoff, and so just so weird. He must have cracked his ribs earlier in the game or something.
Well, he made the throw to our tight end Helm, and then we did run the ball, and all of a sudden he's laying on the ground. And it's like, man, what happened here? It was like he didn't take a hit. Yeah, he didn't look like he took a hit. They said he strained it, so it sounds like he's going to be out like a week or 2. But this is Quinn Ewers. He misses a couple games every year, it seems like.
Yeah, that's what he does. I mean, that's why he's not going to be a top 10 quarterback pick in the draft either, because the dude can't stay healthy. Can't stay healthy in college. When he plays big boys in the NFL, he's going to have a lot harder time.
I do think it is going to hurt his draft stock a little bit. I mean, he's playing pretty good these first 3 games into the 3rd game, and it played pretty good last year when he was out there. So it's going to hurt his draft stock a little bit if he can't stay healthy. These other quarterbacks, Luke, they might jump him. But we'll save the Ravens talk for let's save the Ravens talk for when all the guys are in here at least. let's talk the Cincinnati Bengals, right? They are 0-2, and me and Jake, we talked about this, I believe, off air, and I think last week too.
I guess their season's over too.
Well, it's not that it's over. It's that they're 0-2, right? And we expected them to potentially lose to the Chiefs, but going week 1 against the Patriots, that was obviously an upset in the jungle. Now they play the Commanders and then the Bengals back-to-back weeks. I'm sorry, they play the Commanders and the Cardinals back-to-back weeks before they play the Ravens week 5. And I believe they have to win both these games. And that's my opinion. It's a must-win game Monday night against the Commanders. You cannot go 0-3. Do you believe for the Cincinnati Bengals, it's a must-win game against the Washington Commanders on Monday Night Football at home too?
Yeah, I mean, if you lose that game at home, it's just a bad loss for you guys to have. And it's I mean, the Bengals fans are already getting pretty restless. So I mean, Jamar Chase's involvement is very, very minimal. Yeah, I hope the Commanders beat him too. I'd love to see it, but it's kind of doubtful. Now Jamar Chase's involvement is very little. I think he had 30 receiving yards last week, but he had a 15-yard penalty right after a catch. So fucking nixes his fucking involvement in the game.
And by the way, that was a totally justified penalty we talked about. I mean, most of us felt the same way. Joe Burrow's pulling you to the side. You can't get there and keep, reaming the ref. You got to eventually stop. You can't just sit there and let him take it. I
would assume he got a fine this week too for it. Just because he went too far. Like, you say your piece to the ref real quick, but once you keep coming back at the ref, then that's where you fucked up. And I think he's just hurting his money situation now. Well, he's got 4 games. 2 games so far, 2 catches a game, 4 catches.
Damn, he only has that. Well, he had 6 week 1.
Okay.
He had 6 week. It was 6 for 60 or something like that, I think. But no, Luke, I think it is a must-win game. I believe that the Bengals did play a lot better last week against the Chiefs, and I think they are going to. I hate to say it because I have a lot of family. Brenda Patterson's my aunt. She's a Commanders fan, so from Maryland, my mom's side or my dad's side of the family, big Commanders fans. And I mean, I would like for them to win just for their sakes, but I think that this is the game the Bengals use to get right. I think that this is the game that gets them going in the right direction, that carries over against Arizona, and then we'll see what happens week 5 against the Ravens. But if they go 0-3, Luke, the Steelers are 2-0 at the moment. We'll talk about them. If they go beat the Chargers, they're 3-0. And if you're 3 games back through 3 games in the season, you're literally clawing your way. And hopefully you can hang around for just a wild card spot. But I believe it's a must-win big time for the Bengals.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume this division is going to start to tighten up here in the next couple of weeks. I think the Steelers will probably lose this week to the Chargers. I think Chargers are more well-rounded team. And Bengals probably win. And Ravens, I think the Ravens have a good shot at winning too. And if that happens, this division's real close then. It's all game apart.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see – hopefully T. Higgins is back for their sake too. I think T. Higgins will take some pressure off Jamar Chase. Maybe that'll get him a little more involved. Now, if you have another number – in my opinion, he can be a number 1 on a lot of teams. But he was the number 2 receiver on the team.
Do we know?
I don't know. He's been closer and closer, it seems, every week. If he's there, though, he might be limited. He might be kind of like a pitch count like Jamar Chase was week 1 against the Patriots, coming on third downs, maybe red zone possessions. But I think that you can't let Jaden Daniels, a rookie quarterback, come into the jungle. We saw Jacoby Brissett come into the jungle, and they struggled against the Bengals defense or the Patriots defense. The Commanders defense isn't the Patriots defense, so they have to get right. They played pretty good against the Chiefs defense, so they have to carry that over. They do. Burrow has to start playing like Joe Burrow in 2022 and 2021, where he actually was lighting up the stats. Jamar Chase needs to be involved. The run game, take some pressure off Joe too. Run the ball, set play action. That'll help Joe Burrow as well. I mean, you got to get Zach Moss involved or Chase Brown. Someone has to get involved in the run game for the Bengals.
Yeah, that run game seems almost non-existent really at this point. And they're so used to having Joe Mixon there. He's usually a give me 5 yards every time at least. And they don't have that this year.
Yeah, I was going to look up what I have to find them real quick, actually. So the Cincinnati Bengals, so their leading rusher right now through 2 games is Zach Moss with 78 yards. He's only averaging 3.7 yards a carry. Chase Brown. Oh, shit. Actually, they've only ran the I think this might be – it's a glitch. Oh, right here, 21 carries for 78 yards. That's Zach Moss. Chase Brown, 7 for 42. So, like, Chase Brown's got the good average. He's got 6 yards to carry, but not enough volume. You know, get him involved. If he's running the ball hot right now, you give it to Chase Brown. I mean, Zach Moss isn't your future. He isn't a guy that you paid big money to come there. You got to, like I said, Joe Burrow is only passing for 211 yards per game, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Okay, so he's averaging a touchdown a game. And 67 completion percentage, that's about what a lot of the league hovers around, that high 60s. So I think that if you can get Zach Moss or Chase Brown more involved, it takes off the pressure off Joe Burrow. Because 211, that's nothing. And like a lot of quarterbacks have around like 270, like for like a total year. I know it's only 2 weeks in, but you got to get those numbers up.
It's kind of hard to get the numbers up when he's like doing like the 5-yard dump off passes every play. You can't push the ball down the field. I mean, and it sucks. You know, he doesn't have Jamar Chase to break off 80-yard touchdowns because Jamar Chase isn't getting the ball.
Can you see the Commanders making this a competitive game?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on how Jane Daniels plays. I think the Commanders' offense, like they have the weapons around them to make this going to be a competitive game. Then with Jane Daniels running the ball, I mean, he can break contain on that defense, and he can take it to the house, just kind of like what Lamar does.
Yeah, I mean, I think this could be a good game. I just personally am leaning the other way. Like I said, I think that the Commanders are going to push. I'm sorry, the Bengals are going to push the Commanders' defense around. They're kind of like going to bully them. I haven't been. I mean, yeah, the Commanders played good against the Giants' defense or the Giants' offense, but they didn't look good against the Bucs' offense. And I think the Bengals are in the middle of those two at least. So the Bengals are probably going to put up, I think, high 20s or like low 30s this game. And we'll see what the Bengals do. The Bengals defense has played pretty decent. They had 3 turnovers around Patrick Mahomes. So I think they can pressure Jane Daniels a little bit, Luke. Well,
yeah, I mean, let's see if they can contain him or not.
Let's move on to the game you were talking, Chargers Steelers. You know, I think that this could be not because of offensive firepower, but a sneaky game of the week. Like 2 really stellar defenses this year. The Chargers are actually top 5, top 7 in almost every statistical category through 2 weeks. We know what the Steelers defense presents itself, Luke. Your former Raven running back, J.K. Dobbins, is on a tear right now with Jim Harbaugh as his coach. Herbert, a little banged up, though, with the ankle. Not sure he's playing yet. He didn't practice today. So what will it take for the Chargers to go in to Pittsburgh and have a road upset?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a surprise. They got to get up like 2-3 scores on the Steelers and get up 2-3 scores early on the Steelers, and they're Justin Fields. I don't trust to make a comeback against the Chargers defense. So I mean, they can continue to run the ball the way they have, and especially if they can run the ball on Pittsburgh's defense with old J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. I mean, this game should be a pretty quick game because I think it's gonna be a lot of keeping the ball and running the ball for both teams.
Well, both defenses, Luke. The Chargers giving up 6.5 points through 2 games. The Steelers give up 8 points per game. The only 2 teams under 10 points. That is crazy. I understand it's 2 weeks, and these stats, the numbers will go up a little bit. There will be teams that will score on both these teams eventually, but
yeah, I'm going to ride with the better quarterback here and go Justin Herbert. I don't trust Fields at all to push the ball downfield,
even if he's a little hobbled up right now.
Yeah, I mean he's played banged up for like most of his career at this point. It seems like.
And like I said, J.K. Dobbins, 266 yards through the ground, averaging 133 yards a game. 2 touchdowns. He's got 3 big plays, averaging 9.9 yards a carry. I know his average was around 5, Luke, with the Ravens when he was healthy and he was playing, which 5 is still really good. I mean, like 5 is where you want to be at, honestly. Quentin Johnston is leading the team right now. The receivers aren't really doing much for the Los Angeles Chargers at all, but
Johnston had 2 touchdowns.
Johnson did have 2 touchdowns, and Doc was having a great time watching that this past weekend. But I don't know. I think that it's going to be interesting because the Steelers same thing, like you said, if you get up 2-3 scores, what the Steelers going to do? Let's reverse the roles a little bit. Let's say that the Steelers control the run game. The pass game hasn't been respectable 2 games for the Chargers, honestly. So if they do control the run, can Herbert make enough plays on Joey Porter against Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt on the edge? You have Fitzpatrick out there in the safety position. You have Patrick Queen. And by the way, Luke, Patrick Queen looks like it's not just because he was a Raven with your boy Roquan Smith. Patrick Queen looks like a guy. He's all over the field for the first 2 games. He's in every single situation that the ball carrier or the receiver's at. So I don't know. I think the Chargers are going to face a more difficult road in this game. I think that the defense for the Steelers is going to force the Chargers offense more than the Chargers defense is going to force the Steelers offense. What do you think there, Jake?
I agree with you a little bit. I'm picking Chargers to win just because I want Chargers to win. But I think,
I love the reason.
but I think the Steelers defense shows up, which is going to put the Chargers into some tough situations. And I don't trust the Chargers defense, even with Fields or Russ or whoever at quarterback.
Who's playing left tackle? Is Slater at left tackle or is he at right tackle? I haven't played much attention to the line with Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater. I want to see, that's the point, I want to see those 2 tackles versus Highsmith and Watt. I want to see those 2 because they both look good. I mean, Joe Alt has been putting people on their asses, and Rashawn Slater's a beast still too. But Alex Highsmith, TJ Watt versus those 2 tackles, that is going to be an interesting matchup if they pass the ball. Like Luke, we were saying, J.K. Dobbins is averaging 133 yards on the ground. So
Dobbins looks good.
Comeback player of the year right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, but he's got to last.
Does have to last. Is Fields? I haven't heard. Is it
makes the whole season? He'll probably win it.
Because the quarterbacks don't look too promising. The ones that are coming back. Has it been confirmed if it's Russ or if it's Fields?
It's not really like 100% confirmed, but it's trending towards Fields again. Yeah,
I would just stick with Fields. I mean, until he's the reason they're losing, he has not put the ball in harm's way. He's playing safe, conservative ball with running it like. He's not beating you. He's not the reason they're winning, but he's not the reason they're losing right now. Like when they're playing bad, essentially, like they're just running the ball.
I mean, I agree. Until he does something to where you have to rush Russ back. What's the point of Russ not being 100% coming back when they're winning?
Luke, I don't even think you have to play Russ when he comes back. To be honest, I think Fields is
until Fields fucks up. I'd keep him in.
And I wouldn't pull him.
That's how they're going to win games. Because Fields he's controlling the ball. He's taking the easy passes. He can run the ball. He's more mobile than Russ. So, hey, that's the key to winning. Just keep going. But Mike Tomlin's going to find his way to 9 wins somehow.
Somehow, yep.
And I wouldn't pull Fields the first game he fucks up. Like that'll just destroy every confidence he has. Like if he has one, like let's say they're 4-0, and they fuck up game 5. Like I'm not going to just say, all right, game 6, dude, you're done. Like. You have to still let them progress, develop. I mean, like I said, one terrible game and like a 5-game stretch. You can't just yank them for that yet. So I still stay with Fields.
I agree with not yanking them quick. The only issue is like they said Russ is their starter. So
that changes though. That changes.
I know. I agree. I'm just saying, like, I mean, how much do they mean that? Like, do they mean that where if he's 100%, it's his job? Like who knows?
Because this was Russ's job in a quarterback competition, not like, for example, how Alan was saying, like with Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning, it was Quinn's job from the start. So him getting hurt doesn't sway my opinion. Yeah. Now, Russ and Justin Fields, it was the opposite situation. They were in a quarterback battle, and they gave it to Russ. They're not paying Russ anything but $1 million. So it's not like dude, you're paying him $1 million to be on the bench. It's nothing crazy, to say.
Yeah, they didn't pick up a Fields option either, so he's going to be a free agent too.
And this game could be 16-13, 16-10. This might be one of the low scores of the game, and probably the most interesting games of the week too.
Could be 9-6.
I would not be surprised.
I know.
And eyes are going to be on it. To be honest, eyes are going to be on it. And speaking of,
it'll make my multi-view.
Yeah, we'll make the multi-view. I'm going to save the next one for Doc because I think Doc's coming very shortly. All eyes will be on Sunday Night Football, and we don't have to make it too long.
You want to save the Ravens for fucking Doc? I already know.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. Is there a chance that the Falcons can pull off the home upset against the Kansas City Chiefs? Chiefs the last 2 weeks, they have looked beatable. Falcons obviously had to come back Monday night against the Eagles in that last drive. Kirk did show some better promise in the second half. He looked a little more confident. First half was still a little sluggish. So is there a chance that Atlanta can carry this over to Sunday night? No word yet if Taylor Swift's going to be in attendance yet. Hopefully not. It's a dangerous city. Keep her safe. Do you think we have a chance?
No, not really.
Yeah, no. I mean, if I'm betting, no, I don't think I have any kind of shot at all.
Because
Do I
Andy
want you to
Reid
win?
and Mahomes are not going to do the same thing the Eagles did at the end of the game and lose the game for themselves.
Absolutely.
Well, it's just, no, they're gonna. That's what they're gonna do. They're not gonna lose themselves the games. So, like,
Well,
the Falcons had to go
Mahomes-
out there and beat them throughout the game because they're not gonna lose the game on their own.
They're going to.
Like
I wouldn't be.
did.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. If that was the Chiefs, I wouldn't be surprised if they do throw the ball. We've seen it multiple times on the third down where they can drain the clock that they've thrown it.
Yeah,
but a lot of times they get it.
They'd probably complete the pass or they get the flag.
Well, but in that situation, there was no way they were going to get a flag because there was no one near Barkley. I mean, Barkley had like 3-4 yards of separation.
No, they call the flag on somebody else. Some other receivers holding. Other DBs holding the receiver.
Mahomes is going to throw the ball. They got no running back now.
Well, it's Carson Steele and it's Samaje Perine, right? Those are the two. I don't think Kareem Hunt's going to be. Kareem Hunt won't be ready.
It don't even matter if he is. They're all terrible.
A lot of people think Kareem Hunt might. Oh, there's one. My cousin's league. They think he might resurge his career. I mean,
no, that's what he's done. Like I thought that like the last 3 times he got signed, and he was terrible.
Yeah, I think we were all talking about that.
Yeah,
I think we have a small chance. Am I betting on us? No. As a realist, no. I'm going to pick the Chiefs, but I think if our offense can do what we did the second half against the Eagles, I mean, obviously the Chiefs defense is better, and it'll probably be a half Chiefs home game. To be honest, I don't know how well the Chiefs fans travel. They're not Pittsburgh, but the Falcons are giving free food out, so maybe that entices us to come to the game. So
I mean, the real question is why do the Falcons keep getting all these primetime games?
it's our second one.
I'm tired of it already.
I think because you got this season too.
No, we have 5. We have 4 this year. We have 4. We have Raiders Monday night and we have Bucks Thursday night, week 5.
Somebody was high on Kirk Thuggins.
There's 3 of our first 5 weeks is primetime games, and then we don't get one for like a long time. But I don't know. We just have to see. Our defense. The good thing about this quarterback we're playing, Mahomes can run the ball when he needs to, but he's not like a Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts. He's not going to look to run first, so we don't have to worry about Mahomes just running to run for no reason. So it's going to be a little easier
when he does run. It's an easy 15 when he does run.
But he's not going to run if nobody's open. Like that's the thing. It's like Hurts is automatically looking. He was looking to run. That's the opposite thing of Mahomes.
Oh, yeah.
So
Mahomes will run. He'll run around behind the line of scrimmage until somebody gets open.
Exactly. And
or he'll take off.
And still make a 30-yard throw down the field.
Or he'll take off and
get somewhere.
Or he'll get 10, 15 yards on the ground somehow and fucking get the first down. But I'm a little more confident because of that, because we have to deal with Mahomes in the pocket, which is still not the best thing to say, but we've been struggling with the running quarterback. So when they had a throw, we actually didn't look too terrible. But,
just don't be the team to get Kelsey going. I'm loving that he's only having like 2 catches a game.
Well, now you said it, he's probably going to.
They've been talking about it all week too.
Yeah.
He's only had a few catches this year through 2 games. So
yeah, all his big catches get called back. You see Taylor Swift going crazy in the stands. They called the catch back.
I mean that was a great play. I thought that maybe would have got him going. Actually, like it was a pretty good play by Mahomes and Kelsey. And I was like, all right, well here comes Kelsey. He's going to wake up now. And then they called it back.
Yeah,
so
he wakes up in the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's.
They might as well save his health anyway. What's the point of killing him right now?
December, January, and February. Those are the 3 months you're going to see Kelsey all over. But let's talk about Chris's team. Is this a 3-0 New Orleans Saints this week? Are they going to continue to march on? Will the Saints keep marching against the Philadelphia Eagles? And if so, what do the Eagles need to do with no A.J. Brown and kind of a weak defense right now?
I'll be honest. I don't know what the heck to say about the Saints. Like I'm so confused. Like they looked absolutely atrocious, and all of a sudden, the most high-powered offense in the NFL. Like I don't understand right now. Like I'm so confused, and I keep just expecting them to get beat down. I don't know. I'm not picking them to win, but I mean at this point, they might put up 44 points and win again. I don't freaking know.
And they do have the Saints as the favorite in this game too.
It's because of the home crowd too. I think if it was flipped, they probably would have the Eagles in Philly.
I mean, Carr's averaging what? Like they said, like 20 yards a throw or something crazy.
Yeah, I mean
he's just slinging it.
It's crazy.
I think he knows his job's on the line.
Yeah,
so he's letting it fly.
I'm like, I don't even know. I'm dumbfounded with the Saints offense right now. Kamara looks like his prime.
I don't know if you heard it last night, Jake, but Chris did. He was going to relate last night if you guys were both on, but he couldn't get on either. He says that the New Orleans Saints, because Clint Kubiak is from the Niners, essentially, right? He said, like, we were talking, just me and him. He's like, hey, just think about it, Mark. They're the New Orleans 49ers, and they're better than the Niners, what they're doing right now. He's not saying Rashid Shaheed because he can go deep on like Debo, but he does all the gadget shit like Debo as well. AK is doing what seems he's supposed to be doing. Ayuk is the Chris Olave, and then obviously they don't have a Kittle, but he's saying that what they're doing is the same thing the Niners should be doing. And Kubiak is the guy that's leading the way. He's the fucking ringleader with the mastermind play calling, getting AK a lot more touches. Derek Carr's not throwing the ball nearly as much as he should be. So it's like they're executing what the Niners game plan should be. And I was like, yeah, I mean, in a way, I get what he's trying to say.
I mean, they have some high-powered offense. They got some good players, absolutely. I mean, would I trust Shaheed going deep over Debo? Absolutely. Like, I mean, that's just not Debo. He's not that pure threat, wide receiver. But, I mean, I love what they're doing. I mean, shout out to Kubiak. Like, it's working. I don't know what switch flipped because, I mean, the preseason, the training camp, Derek Carr couldn't hit a pass to save his life. Me
and Luke hammered Chris during the presiding.
Like, I mean,
all preseason.
We all did. It was bad. Like, I mean, we were expecting Saints to be like top 5 pick. Like, I'm still like, I'm literally in shock. Like, they look amazing on offense. Kamara looks young, fresh, fast. I don't know.
I don't know neither. And this is, I think, Kubiak, Luke, I know we've been high on Dennis Allen getting fired. Clint Kubiak might keep Dennis Allen his job.
He might.
Yeah, he might. Chris doesn't like that.
I think it might piss Chris off. And Kubiak might go find himself a different job.
Yeah, well, I don't. So I think Kubiak might do what I can't pronounce his name from Houston. He might wait a year or two. That's what the Texans coordinator did. He kind of said, "Hey, I'm going to wait another year or two to." Kind of, he was still learning how to be a play caller. It was like his first year, so Kubiak might take another year. Maybe he waits for Dennis Allen to get fired, and then he just takes Dennis Allen's job too.
Yeah,
but the defense is always good. Dennis Allen doesn't know how to coach a defense. So like that defense is pretty legit. Cameron Jordan is just ageless. I don't understand how he.
I don't get how he's still. Yeah, I get.
Davis too out there. He's a beast. But no, I mean, good for Chris, I guess. It sucks for me. I know Luke's been chomping at the bit, waiting to talk shit, and we just can't do it. There's nothing we can say about the Saints right now.
I know. I apologize to him on the chat. I'm like, man, shout out to the Saints, bro. Like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I mean,
it'll probably come crumbling down at some point here soon.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're all expecting it. Like every week, I'm like, all right, this is the week. This little crap's done. But nah, I mean, it hasn't happened yet. I don't know.
All right, one more topic before the last one. Two more, actually, real quick. Caleb Williams is his first true bounce-back game as a rookie. He's going to be calling against the Colts in Indy. Is this the game that he can finally look like an NFL quarterback? And, I mean, like I said, he's never experienced a loss in the NFL level. Is this a game that he can finally use it and look like a quarterback?
I mean, yes, he has a win, but, I mean, really, it's a bounce back because, I mean, he was trash in both games. I'm not giving him credit for that win. Week 1. I mean, that was
no. I mean, those are one of those quarterback stats. Like, okay, I got the win, but it was the defense and special teams that won the game. Kind of like a pitcher gives up 5 runs and pitches 6 innings still, and the offense scored on baseball 7 runs.
I mean that O line is just not going to be fixed in a week. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, Caleb took a beating that last week.
He took a beating. I mean, even the throws where he wasn't under pressure, it was still bad. So let's just not knock only the O-line. But
no.
That O-line's not going to be fixed in a week. I don't know if he bounces back right away.
Luke,
I think AR ends up playing a better game than he did last week too. Hopefully he can dial it back a little bit instead of throwing 3 fucking picks and losing me fantasy.
Yeah, hey, shout out to you, AR. Hey, Luke. You are the defending champion in fantasy, by the way, and you are in last place through 2 weeks.
It's okay. Like I said, we got more than 2 games in the season.
12 more weeks. You better wake up.
Yeah, 12 weeks. And guess what? We'll start eating each other alive. It'll happen.
Well, I'm 2-0, and I just lost both my receivers. So here we are.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jake texted me literally. Jake texted me Sunday night and said, "Hey, which receivers available?" I was like, let me figure that out. Let me look, because now I'm sitting in a good spot where I think my team, because Brock Bowers was a good pick. I like that now, but I played Luke in Dynasty this week, so Luke's hot in Dynasty. He's 2-0 in Dynasty. Number 2 pick last year. Now in the league is 2-0.
I'm heating up. See, I flip-flop seasons. I just won redraft last season. I'm going to go win Dynasty this year.
But I don't know. Back to Caleb. I thought Caleb looked good the first drive against Houston. He actually looked. I was like, man, okay, they figured something out. He was moving the ball against Houston. Yeah, it was a field goal. And then all of a sudden it went back downhill. I was like, man, how did it go from the first drive looking promising to the rest of the game?
The first drive was scripted. They probably had the first drive scripted for him out. Mm-hmm. He knew exactly what was going to happen. Most teams script their first drive of the game.
Yeah, 15 plays normally.
Yeah,
they probably ran
the first 2 drives.
And they ran that drive in practice all week long.
Yeah, they get them off script now. The defense is sending a lot of pressure at them. The offensive line can't hold up. And Caleb Williams is just going to run around and try to throw the ball and make something happen like he did in college. But it doesn't work the same in the NFL like he did in college. Like, he's playing against a much better players on the defensive side of the ball than he did in college. And he's just not even getting fucking close to some of these receivers on these deep passes.
Well, the good thing, though, is that this defense for the Colts doesn't look that good. So if this is a time for Caleb Williams to get some confidence, it needs to be now. It has to be against the Indianapolis Colts. Yeah, I get it. Malik Willis didn't go light up the stat sheet, but it was pretty accurate. I think it was 12-14. Josh Jacobs ran fucking wild on the Colts.
Damn near 40 attempts or something like that.
Yeah, when they ran them 53 times. And then also the Colts week 1 against the Texans. I get it, the Texans, but Texans did pretty good on offense too. Joe Mixon. So maybe that's the key. Maybe this is the DeAndre Swift game that helps set up play action for Caleb and then gets his confidence going that way too. We didn't think about that. They've been allowing a lot of running backs to score on them.
For the Bears' sake, I hope so. You go 0-3, we start. That's definitely gonna be worrisome for everyone that had this team making the playoffs and John. This Colts game, yeah, it's a must win. They're down. DeForest Buckner's not going to play, so that defense on the Colts is going to be even worse. Swift hasn't done anything either. This is a good game for everyone to get going. Get the run game going, open up some throws. Caleb's deep ball is not there. It's ugly. But hopefully I can do some short stuff, get the run going, and, get some confidence maybe, but we'll see.
All right. It's time. We can't delay it no more, Doc. I don't know what's going on with him. I believe it's a must-win game for both the Baltimore Ravens and the Dallas Cowboys, and they play each other. The Cowboys coming off a pitiful loss to the Saints. Luke, we talked about to start the show, your Ravens 0-2, and a long season, I agree. But 0-3, we mentioned how the Bengals can't go 0-3 if the Steelers go 3-0. You're 3 games back in the division at that point. This is a must-win game. So what do the Ravens need to do first to avoid going 0-3 against the Dallas Cowboys? What is the key to success this game?
Finish the game. That's what we didn't do the first 2 games, was finish the game. We had an opportunity to finish both games and win them, and we just didn't do it. All right. We've been competitive in both games, at least. Dallas wasn't even competitive last week, so hopefully their feelings are in a little wad. And I know the Ravens have been going hard to practice this week. They're kind of pissed off, so I think they're going to come play pissed off because I think they're embarrassed. It's embarrassing to go 0-2 coming off AFC Championship game last year. So
first MVP since 2002 to go 0-2 the next year. So
yeah, if we finish, we find a way to handle Michael Parsons, and get the run game actually going this game. We start running the ball early, but I can just never get it going consistently throughout the game, mainly probably because of our O-line. Like I said, all offseason, our O-line is the weakest point of the team, I think, and they just can't get it done. Lamar Jackson makes our O-line look better than it actually is, just because he can escape the pocket and run the ball. But our line's struggling. Like we're rotating tackles in games, so we haven't even figured out who's exactly going to be our starters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So O-line's a
I think
mess. D-line defense is just not looking good on the pass. Like we'd stop the run, but just fucking I don't know what it is. Marlon Humphrey's struggling. Kyle Hamilton's been pretty quiet. I mean, he's been on the field, but we've had a couple of our corners hurt. I mean, Nate Wiggins got in a car accident, and TJ Tampo just hasn't been active yet. So hopefully we can get those guys rotated into the games too.
Jake, he hit the head right there. He hit the nail on that, whatever it is. I keep fucking that saying up. Derrick Henry needs to be the reason they win this game. They need to get Lamar Jackson under center and put Derrick Henry to the direction where Micah Parsons is lined up and run directly at number 11. You need to make him run through him because he's great against the pass. He's always been weak against the run, and that's a big son of a bitch to tackle in Derrick Henry. You need to just run 22 at 11. So and just force
Derrick Henry up 10 yards behind the fucking line of scrimmage too. Get him that run and start going. Because once Derrick Henry gets past like about the 2 yard line, like 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, he's probably going for like 10 yards at least. Once you get him going, he's hard to get down. But you just got to get him past the line of scrimmage.
But I mean, I don't know. Your coach has said, well, we didn't bring him here to give him 30 touches. Okay, well, we'll not give him 30 touches is not working. So maybe you should give him some more touches.
They should look at the Titans. The Titans, when they ran the ball a lot, they won games.
I mean, 100%, it's a must-win game for the Ravens. Obviously, you can't go 0-3. I don't feel like it's it's obviously Dallas don't want to lose again, but that division's not the strongest. I mean, I got Eagles losing some more games, so it's not 100% like Dallas season over, must-win game. But Ravens cannot go 0-3. I mean, like they need to come out in this game guns blazing.
Doc, welcome to the show, man. We're talking about how the Ravens, like what recipe do they need to cook up to win this game in Dallas, Texas? Because it is in Dallas. What must they do? Because Dallas is coming off an embarrassing loss, so they're going to be in there. Like Luke said, they're in their feelings. They're pissed off. The Ravens last against the pass. They allowing I think the 28th most points per game. So what should the Ravens do though offensively to win this game?
Yeah, honestly, boy, did I come in at a good time. I think the Ravens just need to hit that start button and send to the next season. I think that's really about the only fix at this point. No, I mean the pass protection's got to be there. Lamar's got to do. We've seen flashes of him, being an effective quarterback. We got to see him move. We got to see him, open the threat. Use Derrick Henry. You've got a bona fide running back. All right, so you don't need to be the go-to running back on the team. Give it to Henry. Let him do what he does. Muscle the ball up the field. Make the plays where you need to. And defense has got to lock it in. Defense has got to tighten up, get better. This is just – the Chiefs are the Chiefs, but the Raiders, the defense has got – the defense is the biggest problem, in my opinion, on this team right now.
And that's what I said. I was like, I get it. Like, Luke, you brought it – like you promoted your – what was your linebackers coach, whoever it was, but you lost another assistant to Miami. So it wasn't just like you lost a defense coordinator. You lost other pieces to the defense. And I get it. You did bring back Kyle Van Noy, but losing Clowney, like you mentioned, you have young corners. One hasn't played yet. One was in a car accident. Don't know what driving happens in Baltimore, by the way, between your players. So Marlon Humphreys, people were worried last year he was going to show the age. Is this the year he's shown age? Because going against CeeDee Lamb, you better fucking wake up and figure it out because CeeDee Lamb is not – he's on the level with Devontae Adams, but he's better than Rashee Rice. He's better than Hollywood.
He's got triple CeeDee Lamb. All right, it's their main target on offense. So
honestly, if you do that, it might work.
Triple CeeDee Lamb and fucking rush the passer. Dak gets flustered like once you start sending 2-3 defenders at him at a time. And Dak will make some bad throws, so most times he'll just chuck it out of bounds or – might be a little short and we can pick one off, but if you lock down CeeDee Lamb, that offense will be stagnant.
All you have to do is pressure Dak. He'll make the mistakes himself. I mean, it happens every single time. You put pressure on Dak.
Send the fucking house at him all game.
Just like look at the Niners film. Every time the Niners play Dak, they put pressure on Dak, and Dak makes the mistakes himself. It's never ending.
And your D line looks pretty good. Your D line is not the reason. Like your D line is actually playing productive. It's the secondary that's, like you said, that's getting you beat.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are up there in sacks already through two. It's only 2 weeks, but you guys are up there in sacks. You guys are hitting the quarterback
They
pressure.
can get after the passer. It just they get that ball off. Our fucking corners aren't doing shit. They're back there hanging out.
Easy to get the ball off. There's holes,
But we
looking
did
like
mention
an engage 8 every play.
we did mention the Cowboys, and before we go to our picks, this is the last topic. If you look at the NFC East, Eagles play the Saints, Commanders play the Bengals, the Eagles, we said that the Cowboys play the Ravens, and then the Giants play the Browns. Is the NFC East already in trouble? Are they now back to the NFC least?
I mean, they could all easily take an L this week.
Mm-hmm.
All be under 500. That's the point. Is I don't think any team besides the NFC East is going to have a team under 500 this week. I mean, all of the teams. I mean, because that's the way it's trending. I mean, obviously someone can beat someone, but are they back to that NFC least status where it's not just now the Cowboys and Eagles dominating teams in the regular season?
Yeah, they're not elite anymore. Jalen Hurts is exposed. Everyone knows what Jalen Hurts can and can't do. I mean, he's been getting shut down. What are they, 2-9 or something in their last 11 games or something? He's figured out. Cowboys are the Cowboys. You know what you're getting from the Cowboys. We know CeeDee Lamb's elite, but they have no run game, so the game's on deck. The pressure's on deck. He tries to do too much. Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
that's why you pay him.
But when he tries to do too much, he fails. I don't know. I don't think none of them are going deep. I mean, I wouldn't say the NFC least, but they're not elite that division anymore. For a couple of years, Dallas and Eagles were pretty scary, but those days are over for sure.
I say they're the worst division in the NFC at this point. They are the worst division, if you ask me.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about worst division is not. It doesn't mean a whole lot. I mean, I don't know. When I hear NFC, least, this division is not in shambles. This isn't the NFC East that we've seen in previous years, where a 9-7 football team was consistently winning every single year. The only team in this division that I think is in trouble is the Giants. The Commanders are on the up and up. If they didn't fire sale their defense last year, they'd be in a much better spot right now, I think. The Cowboys and Jalen Hurts being exposed, the Eagles are not a dog shit team by any means. Top to bottom is still one of the top teams in the NFL.
Sucks, though, but the defense is not playing good. They haven't played good since
they're not
2022.
They're not playing good right now. I mean, and that's where they've got to break it down and figure out what's going wrong, because on paper, this should be one of the top defenses.
It's the secondary. It's the same thing as the Ravens. It's the secondary in Philly that is not playing at a level that they should be playing at. And they have names out there.
Right. But it's not exactly. But that's my point, is it's not because of a lack of talent. So they got to break it down and figure out what's going on. They got to get under the hood. The Eagles, Jalen Hurts, I don't even think Jalen Hurts is exposed, because Jalen Hurts is still a dual threat, the same that Lamar is. He's got weapons in receiving that Lamar doesn't have. He's got the opportunity to get the ball downfield with the receivers. The Eagles, I don't think, are in trouble. I don't think that they're elite, the way they've been playing. They can be, but I don't think that they're in trouble. The Cowboys are going to have a great regular season and blow it in the playoffs, like we know the Cowboys do. But I don't think the Cowboys, while I think the Cowboys are more in trouble than the Eagles, I don't think the Cowboys are in a position where you just write them off and say, losing season. I think that Jerry Jones got to come out next year and make better plays. Let's be real. We all know who the real man wearing every hat in Dallas is. Jerry Jones got to come out next year and make some more moves in the offseason to bolster the defense, keep the offensive line up to par. And he's got to get another receiver, because CeeDee Lamb is really it. But I don't think the Cowboys are in panic mode by any means. And the Commanders are on the up and up. The Commanders are making moves. The only team in trouble in this division is the Giants. So I don't think that this is, I wouldn't say the NFC least as far as the NFL is concerned.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. And Dallas isn't in shambles. I mean, they have CeeDee Lamb locked up, Dak locked up. They're gonna give Parson his at the end of the year. So they got their stars locked up. But I mean, what are they gonna do with it?
I don't know, man. I just feel like this is going on a nasty road of failure. I think that the North is better. I think the South is better. And I think that the West is better. I mean, when it comes to the 4 divisions in the NFC, they might be a 9-win division winner. They might be 9-8.
I can see that. I mean,
I said the Eagles. I said Cowboys 8-9 wins at the most this year. Eagles I had at 12. I did have at 12, but I don't know. The Commanders are obviously they're rebuilding. They get a pass if they're not that good. But the Giants, yeah, they're about to hit rebuild mode.
I mean, they can't even hit rebuild mode because they're still paying Daniel Jones.
But boys, it's time to jump into it.
One more thing that I want to say on the topic of NFC least, because I'm going to be honest, I think the worst division, in my opinion, I think overall you put the NFC East against the AFC West, and they're shitting on them all day long. Because all they got is the Chiefs in the AFC West. That's it.
I was talking about just the NFC. The Chargers, I mean, don't sleep on the Chargers defense. They're playing at a better level now.
They're playing, yeah, they're doing a lot better, but they were one of the worst teams in the passing game and the pass defense last year. Actually, all the defense.
They're top 5 defense now.
You guys,
no, I know. I'm not. We're going off of current performance, and I get that. We're 2 weeks in, though. Let's not forget that.
Luke just saying. It too. Luke was a big.
I'm just saying. Too, Jake. When you talk about NFC least, I don't believe. Honestly, I think the NFC West is weaker than the NFC East as well
because of injuries. I think healthier Rams and healthier Niners.
Injuries aside, I didn't have the Rams finishing too hot in the season.
You did not. Yeah, I agree. You did not. But let's move on. So we're going to go to our predictions. And, man, Jake, you and Doc, man, you guys are tied overall. You guys are 22-10. It wasn't a really good week for anyone. Jake, you were 8-8 last week. Doc, you were 9-7.
Damn.
I was 7-9 last week along with Luke. Chris was 5-11, and Alan was 6-10. So I am on the year 19-13. Luke 17-15. Chris 15-17, along with Alan at 15-17. Money line, me and Doc changed it up a little bit this week, so there's gonna be no more pushes because ESPN Bet and all these other places they had whole numbers. And Jake, I know what you were saying, but so for example, if the Niners are 7-point favorites and you pick them to cover the spread, if it goes to 7.5, they still have to cover the spread with 8 points because you need 8. 8's still more than 7. 8's more than 7.5. So it's not going to change.
Yeah, you can't score 7.5 to cover the spread.
Yeah, so it's not going to really change so much where it's going to change our opinions, essentially. But the spread, Jake, you are still leading the way, 19-11-2. Doc, 16-14-2. I'm 12-18-2. Luke, 11-19-2. Alan's 12-18-2. And Chris, horribly, 8-22-2.
Jesus.
And Chris did better against the spread last week, but that first week really killed him. But yeah, it really killed him. We are going to, like I said, jump into this. I think a little easier games this week than last week, if you ask my opinion. But
I agree.
Let's jump into it. Sorry, boys.
What the fuck are we doing?
All right. Well, I have to because if I go PowerPoint early, it takes away my screen. So sorry. But first game of the week, Thursday Night Football, Patriots at the Jets. We had a little new format, Jake, too. Luke caught on earlier. So CTS, if you're above that number, that means you have them winning, covering the spread. If you're below it, you have them winning, but the other team covering it. If you're on the other side there. But Patriots at Jets, I'm going to make it real simple. It's a defensive game. Patriots keep it entertaining. They keep it close. The Jets do win, but the Patriots cover the spread.
I'm not going to lie. I really wanted to pick the Patriots in this game. I didn't, but I really wanted to.
That would have been a terrible mistake.
Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers is getting his feet back under him. I think he was feeling a little bit better last week, a little more comfortable in the offense. I think they just put it right on the Patriots this week. Put Aaron Rodgers in prime time.
Yeah, for me, this one's pretty simple. This is Aaron Rodgers' get-right game. We saw what he can do with Allen Lazard when he can actually catch a football. I think Garrett Wilson gets more involved. They open up the game with Breece Hall in the backfield. Defense, I think, finally comes together to hold down, not that it's saying much, to hold down a weak New England offense. Yeah, this is easy. Jets are covering.
Jake, anything to say about it, or are you good?
No, I mean I agree. I mean, Jets are covering for sure.
And you see Chris and Allen. So we're not going to talk about the guys that aren't here, but yeah, Chris and Allen, they have Jets winning. You can see what they do with the money line.
Yeah, the names are up there so you guys can see them. We're just not going to harp on them because they're not here to give a reason why.
Also last place for the two of them. So we really, but Eagles at the Saints. Saints are 3.5-point favorites. I think the Saints, like I said, they keep marching. Saints go marching in. Eagles defense is weak. I think Derek Carr and Chris Olave and the offense takes advantage of it. Give me the Saints to cover the spread here.
I'm the only one to take Eagles.
Yeah, I think that the Eagles continue to crumble this week. I think the Saints offense is going to light up that defense. And I think this is second step to getting Nick Sirianni fired for the Eagles. Get embarrassed again.
I'm all for it.
I think he
dog shit coach, dude. He's a dog shit coach.
I think he makes some terrible calls like he did last week, and he'll lose the game because he can't finish games just like the Ravens can't.
Oh, jeez.
I got Eagles winning. I think this is gonna be a battle, but I hope you guys are right so that the Eagles do implode because I feel like they're 1 to 2 losses away from complete locker room chaos. They got so many hot.
Philadelphia will go fucking crazy.
Oh my gosh, AJ Brown, everyone there was already that turmoil that the locker room still
Well, I'm talking about the fans.
Oh, them too, yeah.
Them too, yeah.
I hope for a full blown explosion, everything to do with Philadelphia Eagles. But I haven't won this game, but I hope you guys are right so that we do have that full blown explosion.
Here is the big thing for me on this one. Eagles have allowed 51 points already this season. We saw the performance against a good defense in Atlanta, or from Atlanta in Philadelphia. And now you're going up, in my opinion, against a much more elite defense by comparison in New Orleans, in the Dome. A New Orleans team, by the way, that has given up only 29 points this entire season, shut down an electric Cowboys offense between Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. Give me the Saints, but they go against the spread. I think the Eagles do keep it close, just like last week, but the Eagles taking it, or the Saints taking it.
And a sleepy game of the week, boys. I think it is going to be an entertaining game. I don't care what the score is. My eyes, and since the Falcons play Sunday night, this will be on one of my quad boxes on YouTube TV. Chargers at the Steelers, 2-0 Titans at the moment. Steelers are 1.5-point favorites. I'm going to go with Steelers here. I think that their defense is better. I think that TJ Watt he can stop the run. He's not just a pass rusher. I think that D-line is going to limit J.K. Dobbins, not completely shut him down, but limit J.K. Dobbins, force a hobbled Justin Herbert to play with this receiving core. Johnson did have 2 touchdowns last week, but he's not doing that this week. Steelers defense here, they cover probably 16-13, 16-10 is the game. I'm going Steel City.
Yeah, I mean, the answer for the Chargers to win this game is get up 2-3 scores, like I already mentioned earlier. They get up a couple scores early in the game, then I just don't have enough faith in Justin Fields to reel this game back in, especially if the Steelers can't run the football. If the Chargers defense is able to stop the run, they're going to have the hell of a time trying to score on the Chargers defense with Justin Fields throwing the football.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head. Chargers need to run the ball early. They need to get a lead because Fields is not coming back from a deficit. Only thing I'm worried about, Herbert's a little hobbled. I guess he's nursing a little ankle something going on.
Didn't practice today.
Yeah, so I mean, they say he should be okay to play, but you're also going to have TJ Watt running at you. So that worries me a little bit if he's not 100%. He's going to play. But I'm going Chargers here for sure.
Yeah, Chargers defense has been very impressive this year. The offense has been a little lacking, in my opinion. They put up some points, but it has not been what you look for in an electric offense that you need against a defense of the caliber of the Steelers. This receiving core, though Quentin Johnson had 2 touchdowns last week, is still a very weak receiving core. The running game is going to get stopped by one of the best front 4 in the NFL that I could imagine. I think this Steelers team at home is a different breed. The Chargers just are not there yet. I'm taking the Steelers covering.
We can make this one.
I'm taking the under. I'm taking the under on it. I just want to say.
We can make this one quick. Giants at Browns. Browns are 6.5-point favorites. I don't believe in Daniel Jones and the Giants. Browns cover this game easily.
Yep, no faith in Danny Dimes at all. Browns defense was just going to eat him alive, and how Browns are run the football pretty much. Sean Watson still sucks.
Yeah, it sucks that we all had to pick the Browns because they suck too. But the Giants are so garbage that the Browns get an easy win.
That's how bad the Giants are, right? That's
Yeah.
Listen to me. The Giants have less points so far this year than I scored on my ACT. All right. This Danny Dimes, he's going to go off this week. He's going to have at least 3 interceptions and 1 pick six. Look for Jerome Ford to come out looking like a Nick Chubb that might have the Browns thinking about keeping him on the bench when he does return. Watson also had some flashes that week that made him look better. This team has a receiving core. Just seen Watson to come out and play well. Browns covering this one easy. My spread is more than 6.5.
Shout out to you, Cam.
Is Amari Cooper going to show up this year or what?
I don't know what he's doing. Cam, I don't know if this game is going to be – you might not see much of this on the red zone in general because they're not going to be scoring that much, Cam. So you might get a few highlights.
They're going to score more than the Steelers game.
I mean, he's joking. I mean, he's laughing out loud, he said. So, I mean, he knows. But let's move on to the Chicago Bears going to the Indianapolis Colts. Colts is a must-win game for them to avoid 0-3. Caleb Williams' first true bounce-back game after coming off a loss. Like Jake said, it's really a bounce-back game. The punter does have more punt yards than Caleb Williams has passing yards. That was thrown in there. I don't know, Doc. We said that to you 3 times today. Not sure if you saw it. But the Colts are 1.5-point favorites. Check Instagram, Discord, and text messages. Kristen sent it, all of it. So we wanted to triple to make sure that's there for you. But I have the Bears, Doc, covering this game or winning this game. Road underdogs. I think this is the game that Caleb Williams gets going. I've been saying it every single week, but this is the game he gets going. Weak Colts defense. If Malik Willis in this run game can take advantage of it, and so can CJ Stroud. Well, CJ Stroud is better than Caleb, but if that running game can get going, this could be the Swift Caleb game. I got Bears going into Indy and winning.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, this is a no-brainer for me. There's a lot less pressure on this game. It's not the opening game, first game of your career. It's not taking on a Texan offense that is as high-powered as they are. This is really Caleb Williams. At this point, early in both careers and what we've seen from both of them, this is Caleb Williams versus Caleb Williams. Dog shit quarterback over on the Indy under center. This team, top to bottom, has not impressed me. And I'm taking the Bears on this one. I got them up straight up.
I got no faith in the Bears until they show me otherwise. So I am.
I can't believe you have faith in the fucking Colts, though.
I don't. That's just how much no faith I have in Caleb Williams. I'm taking the Colts until he shows me otherwise. He is. I mean, this is the game where Caleb has to. This has to be it. This has to be your coming out game. Like
so what is AR showed you?
Nothing.
Well,
he's garbage
AR,
too.
AR can at least get the ball.
Why are you taking the lower quality team all the way around? At least the Bears got a defense.
AR can at least get the ball close to a receiver or defender. Caleb Williams just fucking throw the ball in the middle of fucking nobody.
And he's throwing a touchdown. I mean,
AR has thrown a touchdown.
Yeah.
No.
He has thrown a touchdown. He's thrown a touchdown in his career.
He done that, dog.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
So, AR's thrown touchdowns. Caleb Williams has not. I'm going Colts.
Yeah, Cam, we'll find out if AR remembers how to throw a ball this week. He has a cannon, but like Luke said, he's at least going to hit. Yeah, rough week last week.
Hey, he'll throw it up there, though. He'll try.
Look, Cam, you ask if AR remembers how to throw a football like he knew how to begin with. He didn't.
He was trash.
Go back and look at the numbers in Florida. The guy hasn't known how to throw a football since Pee Wee.
Jake's a Gator fan.
I agree. He was I hate him in Florida.
Well, let's move on to the Houston Texans versus the Minnesota Vikings. This is Riz's team, Skull Nation, for you, Riz. An interesting storyline game. You have Danielle Hunter and Stephon Diggs returning to Minnesota. You have some players on the Minnesota defense that are former Texans here. So that's why the cover had Stephon on it. Riz was like, why is Stephon on it? Is it because Stephon was a Viking? They replaced him with Justin Jefferson, essentially. But the Texans are 2.5-point favorites. And I get it. I get it, Riz. I know you hammered me earlier today when I told you what I was doing. I get it. They beat the Niners. They've been beating the Niners in Minnesota since 1992, so they ain't nothing new. The Texans is scary. They're legit. I get it. Your defense play is looking better, but Houston is going to bounce back from that slowish offensive game last week. They're going to win, and they're going to win by more than a field goal.
That's also
Yeah,
a 49er offense without CMC.
Mason looks good.
Yeah.
Let's not act like Mason's been bad.
No, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, but let's not act like Mason's CMC either. He's not.
No, I'm not going to do that, but
the Vikings are going to have 2 banged up wide receivers probably playing. If Addison plays this week, then Justin Jefferson's still banged up this week too. I mean, Sam Darnold's been cooking, but I don't trust him going against this the Texans defense. Texans better all around team, better quarterback. They win the game and cover the spread.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going Texans. I mean, Vikings obviously gave it to my Niners last week, but they did the same thing, almost identical score last year. We went to the Super Bowl. So hopefully, you know, everything just stays the same. We lose the Vikings, we go to the Super Bowl, we call it a day. But no, I'm taking the Texans in this game. Vikings had their moment. They had their little couple games. They're going to start to go down, I think.
Yeah, this one's pretty simple. This is going to be Sam Darnold is kind of comparable. Who was the guy that came into Minnesota last year, got traded from Arizona? The Wonder Boy?
Dobbs.
This is going to be the humbling game like Dobbs' experience after his initial run in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold's going to get humbled with Houston this week. I don't know it's necessarily going to be a blowout, but I don't think that, especially with 2 banged-up receivers, like they said, this is not a Vikings team that's coming out at full strength. And I think that, 2.5-point spread, the Texans are covering that easy.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Will be an interesting game to watch, though. Like you said, Darnold is playing he's playing better. It's good to see him with weapons to see his potential. So it's a prove-it year for him. I think another quick game I'm not going to say much about. Tampa Bay Buccaneers hosting the Denver Broncos, 6.5-point favorites. The Bucs walk all over the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, Baker, second highest quarterback in the NFL right now. Bucs offense is cooking. Defense is playing well. They're just going to eat up fucking Bo Nix.
Bucs are the best team in the division.
Yeah, Broncos have been playing pretty solid defense by the numbers, but this offense, and honestly, the Bucs have a much more elite defense. Bo Nix has not shown anything even less than Caleb Williams. It's a no-brainer for me. Bucs are covering.
And Bo doesn't have a touchdown neither. 0 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. No rookie quarterback has a touchdown thrown this year, but that's definitely the worst stats.
Who gets one first?
Well, it won't be Jaden because Jaden plays
Caleb
Monday night.
this weekend.
So, yeah, it could be Caleb, but moving on to the Green Bay Packers, it still looks like Malik Willis will be the starter. They'll be traveling to Nashville in the backyard of Luke Rule. The Tennessee Titans are 3.5-point favorites. A must-win game for the Titans as they are 0-2. I have the Tennessee Titans. I don't care who the starter is for the Packers. Hobbled Jordan Love or Malik Willis. Titans defense has been playing pretty sound football this year. That's not the reason why they've been losing. Their defense has been solid. I like what they're doing there. I think that this is going to be a defensive game, but it will be a 4-point win at least from the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I mean, I'm riding the Titans too. I think this week Will Levis finally doesn't make a dumb decision for them to lose the game. So I mean, that's why I got them winning.
Coach yelled.
He'll just take the sack instead of throwing the pick.
This game come down to which trash quarterback on each team makes the least amount of mistakes. Because Titans are losing because of their trash quarterback. I think Green Bay pulls this off because of terrible decisions from the Titans. But either way, it's trash quarterback versus trash quarterback. Unless a Hobble Love plays, then who knows? But
you can call it trash quarterback versus trash quarterback, and I think that Malik is not good talent by any means. But you cannot discount the fact the man was 12 of 14 last week, 122 yards. Only 2 incompletions the entire game. The guy balled out, in my opinion.
Ball passes. Just dump offs. All he did was dump the ball off the running
Tom
back.
Brady won Super Bowls that way.
Yeah, Brady did go deep occasionally.
He can still push the ball downfield.
Hey, it won him a game, didn't
it? And Brady didn't throw the
game?
ball Brady didn't throw the ball only 14 times a game in his career neither.
The play calling didn't need more. Look, the man went 12 of 14. All right. He did what he needed to do when he needed to do it. It moved the ball, won him the game. At the end of the day, that's what it counts, keeping it in the win column. I think Malik Willis keeps it going because I think Will Levis's biggest enemy is Will Levis. He continues to make bad decisions, and that's what I think is going to stop the Titans. I'm taking the Green Bay Packers.
I think this is the last game that Love misses also.
Yeah, it's what it sounds like. He practiced today. So he might be a little hobbled, but we'll see. Hopefully they don't rush him back. If they win this game, I'd keep pushing it a week. I would push it until he's fully healthy, or at least closer to 100%.
He's going to feel it all season long.
No, yeah. But moving on to the Carolina Panthers, led by Andy Dalton, now traveling to the Raiders, who are 5.5-point favorites. I was kind of swinging this way if I want to go the spread with the Raiders, but no, I'm going to go the Panthers, but I'm going to go the Raiders covering the spread. I think that they are better. I don't like what I'm seeing from the defense of the Panthers. I think the Raiders offense showed a little bit of actually, Minshew hasn't been that bad these two games, honestly. And Adams is Adams. Brock Bowers is looking like a beast. So I'm going to go Raiders here.
I don't think the Raiders offense has been all that impressive. I'm not saying it's been bad, but not to a point where I think that they're going to cover the spread on this one. I think that the Red Rocket comes out and keeps this game close. We've seen them do it before. I think the Raiders still win this one because there are a lot of holes on the Panthers defense. And the Panthers organization as a whole is Swiss cheese, in my opinion. But I think they stay in enough to keep it below 5.5. But I'm still taking the Raiders against.
Red Rifle.
Yeah,
I will never pick the Panthers. They're horrible, terrible trash.
That's what I said, Red Rifle.
I mean,
Better than those dog shit Niners.
If you're
There's the hot take, baby. Got him. Broke character.
if you're in Survivor, I would even take Raiders in Survivor. That's how confident I am in this game. But I am not in Survivor, so maybe don't take my advice. I lost week 1.
I lost week 2. I think we're all out. Hey, we're all out.
Right there with you, week 1. Go Bengals.
Raiders. Yep, go Bengals. Raiders win this game.
Yeah, I mean, Raiders easy. This Carolina team's a hot mess. So I think the Raiders are more complete on both sides of the football, so they win this game easy.
I will say, if you do respect PFF, the only thing I really respect PFF with really is the offensive line grades, because that's the only thing they can really truly evaluate. In my opinion, the passing protection for the Panthers is 5th, according to PFF. So that whole argument
got pressured like 4 times last week.
That whole argument that Chris mentioned how bad the O-line was, it wasn't the offensive line.
You don't have to send pressure at fucking Bryce Young. That's why.
Yeah, you don't have to blitz him. He was only pressured 4 times.
So maybe Dalton, it will be able to hit Deontay Johnson. Maybe it will be hit Adam Thielen, who was pissed off, and Leggett. So that's an eye.
They're playing against Max Crosby this week, though.
I need when I load up NFL Sunday Ticket this weekend, I need a camera specifically focused on Bryce Young. I just want to see the emotion all game long of knowing that he got benched for a 56-year-old ginger quarterback.
Dude, he was walking into the practice facility. It was either today or yesterday, and there's a fan that called him over, and he still went over there, signed the autograph, and the guy, like, you can see he's defeated, and the guy said, "I'm still pulling for you, man. I'm still a fan." So, like, very classy that he was able, he put his emotions aside, but he looked defeated.
That is what we call delusional and somebody that needs a mental health assessment.
Let's move on to Skylar Thompson.
And that's what we call a true fan, because who even wants a Bryce Young autograph?
Well, college is still good college quarterback. So, but the Miami Dolphins, Skylar Thompson traveling to the Pacific Northwest to face the Seahawks, 4.5-point favorites. I'm keeping this one short too. Seahawks 12th man is going to get Skylar Thompson, led by Mike McDonald in that defense. So I'm going to go Seahawks covering the spread.
I'm not even going 12 man on this one. This is just simple. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith and Jigba. I mean, this and Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet in the backfield. Even if the defense doesn't show up, this offense will do enough against a very lacking, because you don't need to do much to keep, to outpace Skylar Thompson. This is an easy cover for the Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, this is. Go ahead, Luke. You can go.
Yeah, no.
Shout out to
I actually
Tony.
got this game a little bit closer, just because of the offensive weapons. Minus Skylar Thompson that Miami still has. I mean, they have that electric run game. I think they pound the rock and keep the game within reach, but I think it's too much for Miami that the Seahawks are going to be, and so they win it.
The actual over/under in this game, boys, by the way, is 1.5. It's 1.5, and it is for injuries on the Miami run game. So place your bets.
This is easy. Seattle's winning. We've seen a Miami Dolphins game with Skylar Thompson, and it was just pathetic. They're going to dents their playbook completely. Even Dolphins defense they haven't stood out. Seattle wins this easily.
The sad part is actually Skylar Thompson is the reason that they won't let Tua retire and sail off into the concussion sunset, because I mean, they're better. They're better with one of those push blocks in the backfield under center.
I will say that Skylar
Tyler
Thompson.
Huntley he'll be lining up eventually once he learns the playbook.
I will say that Skylar Thompson, he
Marcus
did have a
Russell,
good
baby.
He did have a good playoff game a couple years ago. I think it was the 2022 season in Buffalo as the Miami Dolphins quarterback. But yeah, they did fall short that game.
Yeah, dude, Miami Buffalo is a different game though.
It's in Buffalo, freezing weather. But let's move on. The Luke's Baltimore Ravens, 1.5-point favorites, traveling to Jerry's World to face the Cowboys. Luke, I promise you this is not scripted.
Wow.
It's okay.
It's not scripted. I'm going to go the Dallas Cowboys here. I think that I get it. The Ravens are embarrassed that they let the Raiders, out of all teams, come into Baltimore and upset them at home. But the Cowboys coming off a terrible, terrible loss against the New Orleans Saints. I think that they're going to be even more pissed off. I think that Dak and CeeDee Lamb, they will light up the defense. I think it will be a close game, but I have the Cowboys winning this game at the 4:25 window here. America's game of the week.
Luke, please.
Oh, you
By
guys want me to go?
The floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean, at least the Ravens have been competitive in both games. It's both one-score games. And Cowboys just got fucking annihilated last week, and I think they got exposed. Their defense got exposed, so I think hopefully the Ravens can figure out a way to capitalize on what the Saints did against the Cowboys defense, and just figure out a way to stop Michael Parsons from being a problem.
Well, you know how they expose it, Luke. You know how they expose it, and this is where the Ravens struggle at. The Saints
Alvin Kamara.
The Saints had a passing game.
Oh no, Alvin Kamara had fucking 3 touchdowns.
4.
Hey.
Yeah. That's how they exposed it.
Derek Carr also had a perfect passer rating, I think.
It was good.
I don't know if he had a perfect one, but he probably a pretty solid one.
I almost went with Luke here. Only reason I'm taking the Cowgirls is because of that bad loss. I think they are going to come out a little motivated. They're a little embarrassed getting spanked last week. So I think they do pull this game out, but I think it is going to be very close. It could be a last possession game.
The Ravens, both these teams need a get-right game. The Ravens needed theirs last week and couldn't handle it against the Raiders, so I don't think they're going to come into Dallas and do it either. Dallas is going to come out. I think Dak, we've seen these bounce-back games before from Dak. I think he's going to come out, know what he needs to do to get this offense fired up, get them going. And the questions that we have with the Ravens pass defense, this is not the team that you want to have holes like that. The Ravens, I think, do get a bounce back game. It's just not this week. I'm taking Dallas.
Sorry, Luke.
It's all right.
If we're wrong, you light us up in the Discord.
Yeah, true.
That's all you gotta do.
I wonder if Jake Ferguson's going to play.
That's a big one right there. Good to see Andrews more involved last week too, but moving on to the Detroit Lions, traveling to the desert to face the Arizona Cardinals. The Lions are 3.5-point favorites. They're coming off a loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Cardinals coming off a big win over the banged-up Rams. Yeah, I have the Lions win this game. I'm not off the Lions ship yet. I think this is the game that Laporta gets going here. I think St. Brown's fine. They said he's fine. Yeah, hopefully now that you're not playing me. But yeah, I hope Laporta gets going. Jahmyr Gibbs looked pretty good last week. Montgomery still looked pretty solid when they used him. So I think that this is a Lions bounce back game. Cardinals keep it close in the first 3 quarters. Lions pull away in the fourth, but Lions cover.
Yeah, I got Lions covering too. I think this is still a 1-score game. I think the Cardinals keep it relatively close, but more than 3.5 points.
Yeah, I got a Lions covering, but I think it is a pretty close game. I mean, obviously, none of us were buying what we saw from the Cardinals last week because none of us went that way. But I'm not very impressed with the Lions this year either. So,
offense needs to wake up.
Yeah,
golf needs to wake up.
I don't want my division to win.
You're gonna hurt Mark's feelings.
No, I mean, if they lose, they lose. I mean, they are my Super Bowl pick, but if they lose, man,
he's a closet Lions fan over there.
I'm still Josh Allen fan, so I still have that guy as well.
But no, they haven't looked good anywhere. I mean, I'm not impressed with the Lions. Like everyone's so high on this year coming in. Like I was expecting just them to be dominating the number 1 seed, blah blah blah. But no, I haven't been impressed at all.
Defense does look good. Look good.
Aiden Hutchinson looks good.
Yeah, exactly.
Secondary did pretty well against the Bucs last week.
Not really.
It was
Yeah,
just-
I don't think so. I think the Lions secondary for me is showing what they were last year. A lot of holes
They
in
let
the
Baker fucking
secondary.
cook them.
A lot of
Scored
late
20
game
points.
shootouts. We're talking last minute losses to the Seattle Seahawks of all teams. And this line offense, the problem with the offense for me is the consistency, right? When Jamison Williams was the target of the first game, Monroe St. Brown the second game. It's like we're drawing names out of the hat to see who we want the target to be, because there's no way every single week you've only got one guy getting open unless everybody else is getting triple covered. So the consistency, Jared Goff does have to wake up. I need to see. This is a team that should have improved tremendously over last season, and it seems like they're just reverting backwards. And I am going with the Lions in this game, but I have the Cardinals covering, because if I continue to see Kyler Murray in the way that he's been this year has been impressive in what we all expected Kyler Murray to be, especially, if he can take what he did with Marvin Harrison Jr. in the first quarter last week and spread it throughout the game, maybe get one in the first quarter and the fourth quarter. And James Conner in the backfield. This is definitely a Cardinals team that has potential to be special. I don't think they're there yet. I think they still need some work around the team, but this is a team that can surprise. They have surprised. They did last week against the Rams. So I'm taking the Cardinals covering the spread, but the Lions winning.
If you cover the middle, Goff is lost. I'm just saying.
You can't hit outside the numbers.
I'm just saying.
A battle of two banged-up NFC West teams. The 49ers, 7.5-point favorites, travel to the Los Angeles Rams. This will be a home game for the Niners. I don't care who the home team designated is. It will be a sea of the 49ers red. But I have the Niners covering this. I don't care how banged up the Niners are with Debo and McCaffrey out. I think this team is still too loaded compared to what the Rams are missing. I think Nick Bosa might have 4 or 5 sacks this game, to be honest. So I'm going to go the Niners covering the spread here.
I think the Niners still win this game, but I think just Matty Stafford keeps the game within a touchdown score. So that's why.
All right. So far it's 65% of the tickets are Niners fans. So yes, it will be a home game. If the Rams were healthy coming into this game, the Rams win. But they are absolutely just demolished with injury. They're demolished with injuries, so I'm taking my Niners, but not confidently, because if Rams were healthy, we would lose this game.
I disagree. Niners still have Ayuk. They still have Kittle, and Kittle's kind of, if we need him, he's there, because they got so many other weapons around. CMC hurt or not, like you said, Jordan Mason has been impressive this year. I have the Niners winning this game outright no matter what. I think the difference maker in covering the spread is the fact that Stafford just has nobody to pass to. I actually read an article earlier today that they have recruited a hot dog man from the 200 level and a soda guy from the 300 level to try out for wide receiver. So we'll see how that experiment works for him this week. But the fact that the Rams just literally have nothing left, I think Stafford's going to be throwing the ball up and trying to catch himself in the end zone. Give me the Niners covering the spread.
I will say I'm excited. You go, Jake.
I was say you said Ayuk. I thought he was still holding out. What's he got? 2 catches? Freaking bum.
What is his stat line right now through 2 games?
He's got like 5 catches for like nothing.
Yeah, but now he's number 1 because Debo's out.
Well, he is the one.
He has, I don't know. He's got 3 or 4 drop touchdowns in the end zone.
So they'll get back this week. I got the Niners covering.
I will say, with the Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua injuries, just be a little homer and bias. I will love to see Jordan Whittington get the looks this week, hopefully, as he was a preseason stud. So I like to see him maybe get the looks for next year too. So, but moving on to Sunday Night Football.
Keep in mind, real quick, on that one last note on that game. The Niners have the potential to put up massive points. This is, in my opinion, absolutely a potential to be a 41-10 game. And also, note the Rams have given up 67 points already this year. All right, so there's a lot of holes in this defense, obviously. We saw what Kyler Murray was able to do with Marvin Harrison Jr. early. Imagine if IU can get separation and hold on to the football. And honestly, all you need is George Kittle up the seam and Jordan Mason to open the passing game. This is lights out for the Niners. I got their spread, honestly, more like 15.
I I wish I was as high on my Niners as you are, man.
I know.
The Rams have nothing, dude. You got to be. You have no choice but to be high. The Rams are nothing. That's why I'm high on the Bears over the Colts because AR is dog shit, and Caleb Williams hasn't shown shit. But the Bears defense is going to shut it down in Indy.
Sunday night football. Kansas City Chiefs, defending champions, 3.5-point favorites on the road against my Atlanta Falcons. I'll let you guys start this one off. Who wants to kick it off first?
Yeah, I'll go first. I mean, Patrick Mahomes going to do Patrick Mahomes things. Kirk Cousins, we saw some flashes against the Eagles. That 2-minute drive obviously was great, but if they're not within 2 points, or within a couple, within one score of being able to put this game away in a 2-minute drive, what's going to happen with the Falcons? We've also seen, Kirk Cousins. I will say I've liked the change in the play calling, the play action. It seemed like it opened up a lot better. Bijan went off. So it's going to be really how they call the plays this week and how they mix and match. But for me in this one, I think KC covers no problem. I don't think it's a blowout, but I think they're winning by at least 4.
Yeah, I think they cover. I think it's a close game, but it's prime time. So you got the white and black refs and Taylor Swift. They're going to be all over the Chiefs.
They're
not losing. She'll be there. It's prime time. She's not going to miss her face. She's not going to miss her face on TV for 30 minutes.
Outside of Baltimore, this is probably the most dangerous city she's going to be in for the Chiefs game.
Yeah, you know how much security she has? She's more fucking security than the president.
She is, seriously. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think this. I think Chiefs are going to do Chiefs things. Mahomes and Andy Reid. I think they figure out a way to run the football on this defense. I mean, obviously, the Falcons' defense was weak last week against the run, and I think they figure out a way with either Carson Steele or P. Ryan or some way to figure out the run game. I think Kelsey gets involved this week.
We were weak against the quarterback run. Not Barkley didn't have a huge game.
Is that the run? Yes.
What was Barkley's average last game?
But they ran the ball.
But the quarterback ran. So if Mahomes is running it, that's one thing. But it's a different style of run that they do.
Barkley had a pretty good game too. Besides his drop.
Just put Worthy back there, running back.
Barkley was 22 and 95. You're gonna say Barkley didn't have a good game?
What's the average?
4.3. That's not a. I did stop. That's not a bad game. That's not DeAndre Swift bad game. Okay.
Hey, question.
Just because Bijan did 6.9
Mark, it's not your turn yet.
Saquon a bad game.
I have a question. Is Steele and P. Ryan,
Saquon?
Are they Barkley though? Can you answer that question? Are those two Barkley?
No, but I think
are they even combined as a Barkley?
Andy Reid's going to figure out a way to run the ball.
If we've learned anything,
he's just going to fucking throw it over the top.
Listen, if we have learned anything from this Chiefs offensive line when they got down to their third string running back a couple years ago that became a star on another team, I don't even remember who the fuck it was at this point. For the Chiefs, it didn't matter. If you got the right offensive line, the right play calling, it doesn't matter who you put in the backfield. It's the mechanics and opening the holes that's going to make the play happen.
That's why Pacheco's so good. He's a fucking 7th-round pick.
They didn't look good against the Bengals when Pacheco got hurt. But shout out to Chris for giving us a chance. Yeah. Shout out to Alan.
They've had a week to figure out the game plan now.
It's fine. Shout out to Chris for keeping us close. Shout out to Alan for even giving us the win. No, I mean I think that the Chiefs do win. I'm not worried about the run game. It's Mahomes. It's Worthy. It's Mahomes. It's Rice. Could be a Kelsey game like Jake mentioned if he gets going. And it's the defense. It's the defense for the Chiefs. It's been keeping them alive the last season. This season, the defense has made crucial plays when they need to so far. I'm a little nervous. Obviously, I'm actually really nervous. I'm more nervous about this game than Philly because it is Mahomes. I don't remember the last time we played. Well, I mean, what happened the last time we played them? But I don't want to play the NC Chiefs. I don't want to pick them, but I got to go with the brain on this one. I'm going to go them here. I think it's going to be less than 8 points, but I don't know if Kirk can do what he did last week when it matters because it's just a different team, better defense. The run game I'm not worried about. Not this week. Pacheco is there, yeah, I'd be worried, but I'm not worried about a fucking fullback. That's what Carson Steele is. He's a fullback.
I agree.
He's not a running back. He's a fullback. P. Ryan is the running back. Carson Steele's not getting looks.
Your mind. I could change your mind Saturday night.
I'm not going to be worried about Carson Steele at running back. I'm not.
He had 186 rush yards last week, but yeah, I wouldn't be worried about the run game either.
That's what the Eagles had? Yeah, once again, Patrick Mahomes is not going to run the ball
It's
like
crazy.
Jalen
I thought Mark
Hurts.
said they couldn't run the ball.
And they had more than 106 rushing yards because of fucking Saquon at 95. Jalen Hurts had easily fucking like 50, 60 yards.
I said 186.
Yeah, and most of that was from Saquon. I mean, from Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was he was the guy leading the fucking rushing. Patrick Mahomes is not doing that.
Nope.
Averages
led the team. Saquon Barkley led the team in rushing yards
on more attempts. Jalen Hurts was more effective. Jalen Hurts averaged like fucking 8 yards a carry.
Dude, it is rarely that you have a scrambling quarterback that does not average more than a running back. Has Lamar ever averaged less on like actual running, not sacks included, or scrambling and getting tackled in the backfield?
By the way, they don't take away rushing yards on sacks in the NFL. This isn't college football. That goes against your team passing stats.
No, not sacks. It's when you scramble, though. If you scramble enough, they can take it against a rush, calling it a rush attempt instead of a sack.
If you are trying to escape, it's a sack. If it's a design run, it's a run. If Lamar Jackson's behind the backfield trying to throw a pass and he runs.
Listen. Let's just avoid the bullshit, all right? Regardless, when you have rushing quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields, Lamar Jackson, it is frequent that your quarterback has a higher average than your running back.
And that's what killed us last week. Barkley didn't really kill us. I mean, yeah, he had some good runs.
Stop. Barkley had a 4.3. Stop.
Okay, and 4.3.
Don't sit here and tell me Barkley had a shit game, dude. Stop. You're losing a lot of credibility.
And you guys are losing credibility comparing Samaje Perine, who's been on his 5th team in 2 years, and Carson Steele, a fullback, to Saquon Barkley. They don't even equal him as the two of them. They don't even
I didn't compare them. I didn't compare them. I'm simply talking about your run defense.
I really hope you're not going to regret this.
All right.
I hope Samaje Perine goes off for 200 plus, dude.
If they're the reason they beat us,
75-yarder to open it up, dude. 75-yarder first play of the game. Perine gone.
If they're the reason they beat us, they beat us. But I'm banking more on Perine being the running back than Carson Steele. Steele is not going to be.
I don't even know who the fuck Carson Steele is, dude.
Well,
I say shit about Carson Steele. My argument is I literally didn't chime in until you said Barkley didn't have a good game. All right, that's all I talked about was Barkley. I didn't say shit about the Chiefs' run game.
I'm not over the run game because Mahomes they're just going to be throwing the ball, like Jake said. It's going to be a passing fucking game. It's what it's going to be. Worthy's going to be probably involved with a little gadget shit. He'll probably get some sweeps and shit like that. That's where the running game will probably be coming into effect, is all that like motion shit, the touch passes and whatnot. But I'm not worried about those two running up the middle. I'm more about Mahomes and a little trickery from Matt Nagy and Andy Reid calling plays. That's where I'm worried about as of right now.
I wouldn't be worried about as a Bears fan. I wouldn't be worried about Matt Nagy calling plays.
I mean, he's looked good with Alex Smith in the past, and he looked good under Andy Reid. Obviously, Andy Reid's the play caller, so maybe if you had good quarterbacks,
he just can't do it on his own. He's got to get approval.
No, it's that he actually has respectable quarterbacks in Kansas City because Alex Smith is respectable, unlike the guys he worked with in Chicago. So I'd take Alex Smith over whoever he had in Chicago any day. Disagreements there, Jake? Luke, you think that you disagree on that one?
No, I don't.
I like Alex Smith.
Jacksonville.
They also ain't shit without Andy Reid, but so it ain't Nagy.
Well, I mean, the Bears maybe just the franchise. They're just the coaches just suck in general, but maybe it's not just
they
Nagy.
Clearly do. That's why Nagy got ousted, because Nagy shit without Andy Reid.
Nagy got ousted because he also didn't have this quarterback he wanted. They did everything ass backwards for the franchise. But Jacksonville Jaguars, Buffalo Bills, Monday night, one of the Monday night games. Bills are 5.5-point favorites, and they keep rolling. This is a 3-0 Buffalo Bills team that no one had confidence on the show besides me and Allen, and I'm going to keep riding with Josh Allen until he proves me otherwise wrong. I'm going to go Bills.
Pretty sure I had confidence in the Bills, no?
I think you had some confidence, but you weren't high like me and Allen. You were kind of like on the fence.
Yeah, I got Josh Allen. He's going to put the team. He's going to put this team on his back. Trevor Lawrence still hasn't shown up yet, so I'm going to ride Josh Allen and the Bills.
Trevor Lawrence. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm just going to say, Buffalo's winning this game. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is borderline Daniel Jones. I don't know why he got paid this massive contract. I am not a Trevor Lawrence fan. I mean, has he seriously shown y'all something to deserve that contract? Honestly.
Just that half a year with Doug Peterson the first year, and that was it.
Like, Buffalo wins this game and the covers.
By the way,
Yeah, I mean, you talk about which Trevor Lawrence is going to show up. I'm going to be honest. Trevor Lawrence hasn't showed up since like the middle of
It-
2022. So I don't
exactly,
know how there's any
exactly.
question. There's only one Trevor Lawrence showing up, and that's the one that can't play football. This one is a no-brainer for me. The defense in Buffalo has not looked bad. I mean, 38 points against this year. I don't think that they've been terrible. Josh Allen is. I mean, if he can get his team deep in the playoffs and cut down on some of the fumbles and the turnovers, Josh Allen has the potential to. He is an MVP caliber quarterback, in my opinion. He puts up the numbers, he gets the scores, and he does it on the ground the same that Jalen Hurts does when it matters, and can still sling a football like nobody else. He's just got to stop trying to do too much and put the game on his back and let the game develop the way that it does, and making bad play calls, and that goes back to the turnovers. But this one's an easy one for me, just because Trevor Lawrence is such a sack of dog shit. Bills are covering this one easy.
And I will say that, Luke, I think we talked about it off air before with Chris. Jordan Love is that. I'm not saying he's Trevor Lawrence, but Jordan Love is getting that Trevor Lawrence treatment where, he had that good half season, got him to the playoffs, a playoff win, played close in the next playoff game, and got paid. And I think that Jordan Love possibly could be a Trevor Lawrence product where he got paid after half a good season, and he's down. He didn't look good against the Eagles.
Hard to tell because he got hurt. So
we didn't look good week one.
The heart. Well, here's the thing.
It's week one.
Listen, nobody wants that to happen more than me. Okay, as a Bears fan, nobody wants that to happen more than me. But the only thing that I'm disagreeing with that is the fact that Jordan Love sat behind Aaron Rodgers for several years, and we saw how that worked when Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre for several years. They've got a good way of getting a good quarterback, somebody that can come in, learn from one of the best in the game. They rinse and repeat it with Jordan Love. I'm expecting Jordan Love to have sustained success because of who he sat behind and learned from for so many years. He had nothing but time to soak in, be a sponge and soak in all that knowledge from one of the best quarterbacks in my opinion, NFL history, and Aaron Rodgers. So I'm expecting to sustain success. And because I haven't seen anything that shows me it's going to go otherwise.
I'm just saying it's the same style how Trevor Lawrence got paid. That's what I'm trying to say. It's the same.
Yeah.
It's literally the same situation.
Yeah. And I'm still not high on the Bills. I was one of the ones not high on the Bills.
Yeah.
Still not high on them. I mean, they have a nice stretch coming up. If they want to show me something, they can. Where they got Ravens.
Sunday night Ravens, I believe.
Ravens,
Baltimore.
Texans, Jets. I think they got those three. They want to show me something, they could do it there. But a beat-up Dolphins team and the Cardinals is not making me change my mind. And definitely not the Jaguars. But if they want to show me something, that 3-week stretch, they can show me something. But
I will say they manhandled the Dolphins before they were beat up, though, too. I mean, Mostert was hurt, but like Tua was – by the time Tua got hurt, the game was already over.
Yeah, I mean, I had Dolphins missing the playoffs this year, so I wasn't high on Dolphins either.
But last Monday night game of the year or the week, I mean, the Washington Commanders versus the Cincinnati Bengals in the jungle. Bengals 7.5-point favorites, and this is the get-right game for Joe Burrow. They looked better last week. I think they take care of the Commanders. The defense isn't impressive at all to me, and I think that this is going to be a 10, 13-point win, double-digit game here, and hopefully Teagan's plays so we can see what the Bengals are going to be like for the year with both receivers. Give me the Bengals covering.
Yeah, I think Washington, and we talked about it last night on the show, Washington's fire sale on defense last night caused them a lot of problems, or last season rather, caused them a lot of problems. I think the emotion that we saw with Jamar Chase and with, Joe Burrow, I think the Bengals had a come to Jesus meeting this week and maybe it's time to get back to the basics. But this is, I think, a get right game for Cincinnati. I think they come out here, handle business. I don't think that they pull it off by too much. I think Washington keeps it semi-close, at least within the one score. But I do have the Bengals winning this game.
I mean, one of these. Oh, go ahead, Luke. Go ahead.
No, yeah. As much as I'd love to see Washington win this game, I think Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati offense get it together this week, and I think they pull this game off. I mean, they're playing against a quarterback who hasn't thrown a touchdown yet this season, and going against a somewhat easier defense than the Bengals have played so far. So I think it's should be a nice, easy game from the coast out and get that 7.5-point win.
Man, I wanted to pick Washington so bad because I want the Bengals to lose.
So do I.
Oh man, but one of these teams is in rebuild mode. As you know, we're a few years away. One of these teams just sucks, but I think the Bengals are they're gonna win this game. Unfortunately, but I wouldn't call it a getting on track game or anything like that. I think it's gonna be close and not impressive. I mean, you're playing Washington, and I don't think T. Higgins is the missing piece. Yes, I mean, obviously it's another offensive weapon, but that's not what this team – that's not going to just make this team, like, into elite. Like, they got struggles all over, especially at quarterback. But Bengals win this game.
Damn, a lot of shots there. Shots galore from Jake. But, no, we'll see if the picks are a little better. Like I said, everyone kind of struggled this last week, so it'd be nice to get everyone back on track.
We'll probably struggle this week too.
Yeah, for sure.
Week one was pretty good. Well, Alan and Chris, those are the ones you don't want to really pay much attention to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're following Chris at this point. I mean, you're just send me your money. Send me your money. I'll put it to work.
I'm not sure if we wanted to get into college. I didn't think it was going to take this long for NFL. I was only 3 games. I just wanted to brief on real quick. Who y'all think's going to win at least? It's up to y'all.
I don't think there's really not that many big games this week.
I mean, is there any big games this week?
There's a couple.
There's like
there's
ranked
Michigan,
matchups.
USC. I mean, we could briefly touch on it. I don't think we got to go.
State.
I mean, we're already pretty deep into this one, so
It's up to y'all. I just didn't know if we wanted to just see who's going to win real quick. I mean, I know last night people were asking, but I don't know if we want to say we don't have to talk about the game. Just say who we think's going to win, like the 3 biggest games, in my opinion.
yeah, we can. That's fine. We can run it through real quick.
So I'll switch hats real quick. But the Tennessee Volunteers host or traveling to Oklahoma. This is college game day, and number 6 Tennessee, number 15 Oklahoma. It is a pretty big game. Alan asked if Tennessee wins this game, does it shoot them up to like true contention? And a lot of us I'm not sold on the quarterback in Oklahoma at the moment. He's a good rushing quarterback, but Arnold, whatever his name is, I'm just not sold on his passing ability. I think Tennessee goes into Oklahoma and they win this game, and I think they're going to win by double digits.
I think Tennessee goes into Oklahoma, not only wins this game, but wins it big. I mean, talked about it yesterday. Tennessee has not only done what they needed to do against, the opponents that they face this year, but the plays that they're running are impressive. They're well executed. This is a fine oiled machine that is out there playing the game. So this isn't even close for me. OU is going to get humbled.
Yeah, I don't think OU's. Yeah, I don't think OU's really that good this season. I think they just had a nice start, and I think they started the season ranked already, so they're still ranked.
Sluggish. They've been pretty sluggish, Luke.
And Tennessee's, I mean, they haven't played anybody yet, and they just fucking railroaded everybody they played. So I mean, this would be their first real test. I don't think this game really makes them a true contender for the SEC yet. I mean, they're in the conversation, but I mean, the SEC's got a couple other schools there sitting at top. I don't know if they're a true contender. I mean, definitely playoff contender, but I don't know about winning the SEC just based off beating one of the mid-tier SEC teams.
I feel like it makes you open your eyes, though, a little bit. Just it kind of like opens the eyes a little. That's about it.
I mean, if they go hang 70 on them, I'll change my mind.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I got Tennessee winning. And was your question contenders in SEC or contender for a playoff team?
Alan was talking contender in the nation. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I got him as a playoff team, but I mean, I don't even think I have him winning the SEC. But let's pump the brakes a little bit.
They're not winning the SEC.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not even saying my team's winning the SEC. I'm just saying Tennessee's not winning the SEC.
Yeah, agreed.
It's probably Georgia.
Yeah, like I mean, Tennessee does play Alabama, so we'll see what they do against them. They play Oklahoma obviously this week. I think they have a tough one more matchup. I'm not sure. They obviously play the Gators, but that's not tough. No offense, Jake.
Gators play them tough though.
Yeah, I just think this Tennessee team is different.
Yeah.
The fact that we still haven't fired our coach.
Well, he thinks he's going to be there next year, Jake. That's what he said.
I know. Oh, my God.
And then Doc poured a drink because I think he was drinking from Sarkeesian's liquor cabinet. I think Sark gave him some liquor.
Y'all going to get –
You start been talking, dude.
Y'all going to drop $100 million on Lane Kiffin.
I saw some rumors about that. I don't know.
Would you want it? Would you want Lane?
I'm on the fence. Ask me in a week.
Because I
All
mean,
right, who's the next
game? Next game, number 11 USC. Welcome to the Big Ten, USC, as you travel to number 18 Michigan. Michigan's second biggest game, and it is in the Big House once again. Alex Orji is starting this week. No, Warren Davis, whatever his name is.
I mean, is this a big game because they're ranked?
It's-
Because Michigan sucks.
It's a big game for USC because it's the welcome to the Big Ten. They are going to a hostile environment of Michigan. That's still something to somewhat respect. It's not the same Michigan team.
Ann Arbor is a different environment.
And it's a 3:30 game. It's the midday game. Will be like a noon kind of feel for the Trojans. But Trojans, they looked good. But now can they look good against the Big Ten? That's why it's a big game.
Trojans have looked good. I think that there's all the upside for them winning this football game, but I think that this game being in Ann Arbor, this Michigan defense I think is gonna hold on to this. I'd love to see USC take this one because Michigan has been nothing but an absolute disappointment so far this season in every aspect that I can think of. But they're also, the games they've played, this USC team, I don't know. I think Michigan holds on to this one at home.
Ryan Page says, no way they lose again at home. Bet on that upset.
I can definitely see USC pulling this game out. I mean, they have the offense to do it. I mean, they proved it going against LSU and fucking upsetting LSU again. LSU loses week 1, but so I think they can. I think LSU might have been a tougher team than this Michigan team actually is.
Yeah, I mean, I think USC can win this game. I mean, the offenses look good. I mean, I wonder what's changed from last year and this year.
And their defense is playing well.
No, JJ.
If this game was anywhere but Ann Arbor, I'd be taking USC.
It's not Jim, Jake. It's JJ's the reason. Come on.
No, I meant what's changed with USC.
They hired that
They
UCLA
got-
Chris. Their
They got a
defense.
defense.
They hired that UCLA coordinator who turned around UCLA's defense. Legit, like that's the real thing. Like that defense coordinator is.
What changed with the offense?
Nothing really. Yeah, offense was good last year.
No, Caleb Williams.
Yeah, they look better without him, right?
Yeah, old Miller Moss.
I'm
Interesting
just saying. I mean, maybe they'll retire this quarterback's jersey too.
I don't know if they're cheating anymore, Ryan, but he says he hates Michigan, but as a betting man, he's going to bet on the cheating Wolverines. That guy's a high school coach now, so right, high school coach is what he's doing.
Yeah, he got blown out his first game, I think, like 57-7 or some shit like that.
And last game, Luke, your conference, my former conference, the Big 12A. This is the two favorites to win the conference. Number 12, Utah Utes. Welcome to the Big 12 as you go to Stillwater to face Oklahoma State. Battle of two seventh-year quarterbacks, too. So two grown men playing against each other.
Yeah, I mean, I love to see it. One of them has to lose. So, I mean, that'll knock them down a little bit. UCF's on a bye week, so we can't lose this week. So, I mean, just going to watch the Big 12 start to cannibalize itself a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, this is the game that I'll be watching for sure. I'm kind of intrigued by this game, but
Ollie Gordon needs to get going, Jake. He has not had he had a good game week 1 against some trash school, but the last 2 weeks he's been kept in check.
it's a flip a coin for me though.
Yeah, this game could go either way. I mean, I think
Either way.
both teams are pretty level competitive wise. So it just depends on how Cam Rising plays. I mean, he's looked okay so far. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy from either team. They're winning games, but that's what you want to do against your non-conference games to start the season. You want to win those.
Well, going back to last year, I mean, Utah has had their moments struggling offensively. They're a great defensive team, but they're going into Oklahoma State. I think Utah still pulls this out. Ryan, to your comment, I am a somewhat of a Utah State fan going back to college football 14 because that's who I always started my dynasty with. So I understand a little bit of that rivalry there. It's kind of like the Colorado State. Last year, we chalked up Colorado going overtime against Colorado State because of the rivalry. This year, we chalked it up because everybody's finally realizing that Colorado is just dog shit. But I don't think that's the case for Utah. Utah and Utah State always play each other kind of tough. It's always an entertaining battle. And Utah State is a team that has been, they've had their moments of strength. So can't really discount them in an in-state rivalry. But as far as this one goes, I think Utah's pulling this off over Oklahoma State.
And I'm not going to lie, like I'm not saying Arkansas is Utah State. They're not one of the best Power 4 schools anymore. Arkansas almost beat Oklahoma State. It took Oklahoma State to come back for that. So Oklahoma State struggled at
Arkansas
home.
is up on the rise, though. Arkansas is on the rise.
I'm just saying, like, Arkansas is not Arkansas. Like, you know, they're not a powerhouse. They were up pretty decently on Oklahoma State in Oklahoma State, and Ollie Gordon was a no-show for that game. So that's the thing is Ollie Gordon going to – because you need to run the ball against Utah. You got to run the ball.
If you can. That defense has been fucking stacked.
That's what I'm saying. But Luke, also shout out to the Space uniforms this week, too. They revealed them at 3:21 p.m.
Space unis. Yeah. Usually we do. Usually drop at 3:21, 3:21 lift off. I know Mark didn't get it at first. I had to spell it out to him. Had to spell it out to him.
Because you randomly said, 3:21 p.m. They're releasing. I was like,
what kind of fucking time is that?
That's why I was like, what the fuck? Awkward time. He's like, 3:21 lift off. I was like, okay, that makes more sense. Next time, lead with that. Don't just tell me a time. I'm not a UCF fan, so I don't.
I thought you'd pick it up like 3:21, but I guess not. It's okay. I spelled it out for you, but now you understand. Uniforms are good. I like them. I thought they were going to go a little more wild with the uniforms this year, but they did not. So pretty bland for the Space uniform overall. Kind of cool
Undefeated,
jersey
though.
where it kind of fades. We are undefeated in Space uniforms. I think we're 7-0 in Space unis, so love to see it. Hopefully we can maintain that. We play Arizona. It's either Arizona or Arizona State in Space.
So that's how you do it. You guys just wear them against the shit teams.
Arizona's not terrible.
Arizona is not really a shit team. Neither is Arizona State. I can't remember which one it is. I think
It's Arizona because
they're that week. Yeah,
because they're big. So Doc, last one before we get off the show. Ryan, real quick though, if you lose that bet, I'm sorry. I don't like betting 45-point spreads. I don't give a shit if it's Alabama versus the Citadel. Back in the day, I don't like those bets. But
especially with Arch Manning, maybe he comes back down to earth a little bit.
Doc, is Florida State going to get their first win this week against 3-0 Cal, which is Jake's second team or former first team? Not sure where they fall out anymore with you, but 3-0 Cal, 0-3 Florida State. Who gets the win before we sign off?
At this point, Florida State will continue to get their first win week after week until they actually get it. So Florida State's going to lock it up this week. They're getting their first win.
So Charleston Southern will be the first week then. Got it.
Not even convinced that'll be it.
Luke's gonna have it already typed out on Discord, ready to hit send by the last
honestly,
5 minutes.
I'm getting up on watching Florida State football. I mean, after 0-3, I'm like, I watched last week just because it's Norvell coaching against his own old team, but now it doesn't matter. They're not going to compete for anything this season anymore.
They're still going to be on it.
Yeah, they can pack it up and try again next season.
You'll still be.
I already hit simmed to next season.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
They still got big games on their schedule still too. So,
them woke Bears.
DJ, you can't throw football.
Those woke Bears are going to win.
And
what I miss about Cal? Why I've been seeing like woke memes all over the place.
Cal's good.
Anybody else see that?
They've been
California.
solid.
But they're like saying they're woke. Like a bunch of memes about being
the whole
woke.
goddamn state is woke.
Yeah. Jake, your other team, Florida, they're going to get that win over Mississippi State.
They should. Mississippi State sucks.
So does Florida.
Yeah, so
Florida
does Florida.
sucks.
Yeah.
What are we saying, Luke? I mean, they both suck. Well, I mean,
they both suck. But
We're gonna win.
Graham Mertz. Hey, I still think it's my time to say it. Disrespectful. He's wearing number 15 as a quarterback at the University of Florida. It's a disgrace to allow him to do it. It's shitting all over anything Tim Tebow ever did for that program. So until they figure that out, they're going to keep losing.
He's still starting.
Until they figure out that 15.
Just put Lagway in and let it fucking ride.
It's a mistake they let him transfer there. But
Hopefully Mertz is still starting quarterback when they play UCF, and then Billy can really get fired.
Yeah, that's the game that's going to get fired. But, boys, great episode tonight. Good luck to your NFL teams. Jake, good luck to the Niners this week. Doc, the Bears. Luke, the Ravens. Chris, the Saints. And Alan, the Patriots. And good luck to your college programs, too, as you guys are.
Touching on the bye this week.
Yeah, Luke, you're just there to talk shit this week. Stir the pot.
Yeah. Easy
Don't
week
know
for
what
me in
you're-
college.
I want to go to UC. I want to go to UCF game.
Go to the Florida game.
They play Colorado next week
Ooh, that'd be fun.
at home.
Jake would beat honorary
UCF
Knight fan
does?
for the weekend.
Yeah, they play Colorado next week.
God damn it, I have to root for UCF for a game.
Jake does too.
Well, then we play Florida after that.
Is it
Man,
in
I'm out.
Gainesville or is it
Maybe 2 weeks in a row you can root for them.
I might go to that Colorado game though. That'd be fun.
Do any of you guys is the game in Gainesville for that, Luke, or is it in the bounce house?
Against Florida, it's in UF in Gainesville.
Is it a 1-1? Do you guys play them?
It's a 2-1, so 2 for Florida, 1 for us. But the next one's like 5 years down the road. The next one's like another 8 years down the road after that.
Typical Gator scheduling. That's what they do. They love scheduling.
Well, they would not schedule 1-on-1 with us.
No, they wouldn't.
We got a new athletic director, and he went and took the 2-for-1.
Well, it takes them forever to schedule Miami. Miami's always on board to play them, and Florida always tries to avoid it.
Well, Florida
they
doesn't
win.
want to play the other Power 5 schools in Florida because it looks bad when they lose to them. Like when they lost to Miami, it looks bad.
Ryan
Florida's supposed to be the powerhouse school in Florida.
I was going to ask you that.
They're supposed to be that, but they're not. And right now, it's Miami.
I'm going to watch it, Ryan. I have not got into it yet. It looks pretty crazy. I mean, obviously, all the logos are blurred out for NFL teams. Patriots, it's just like a typical blue jersey, gray helmet, no logos. I don't know why they can't have it. Maybe they don't have the rights to it. But no, it looks pretty good. But it's like the second or third Aaron Hernandez fucking documentary that's come out in the last 5 years. Crazy story.
It's the same guy did the OJ one that's on Netflix.
I'm not a big documentary guy, so I don't watch it.
It's not a documentary. It's a TV show of the what happened. Not really an actual documentary.
Jake doesn't care. It could be about Joe Montana and Jay Rice, and he's not turning it on. It could be Steph Curry, and he wouldn't turn it on.
Yeah, I didn't watch Steph Curry's. I didn't watch the Bulls thing.
That's not Jake's.
The Last Dance was pretty good.
That was the most basketball Luke's watched probably in his life.
Last season watching women's college basketball was the most I ever watched.
Until if I would have lost earlier, you would have stopped watching.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's no reason to
girl,
watch
man. Caitlin Clark fanboy.
She was close. I don't watch her now because obviously I'm not watching WNBA. But
my girl's hurt. Cameron Brink got hurt. I can't really watch WNBA until she comes back, so I'm on strike. So
I don't even know the season's still going for WNBA.
Me either. Only time I know that it's still going is on my phone lets me know Caitlin Clark set another record or something. I'm like, oh.
Yes,
I do think UCF beats Colorado. Colorado has a fucking awful defense. UCF has the number 1 rushing school in the country right now. So yes, I do.
RJ Harvey, man.
And our defense has played well. Oh, yeah, RJ Harvey is up there. He's
top 10 Heisman candidate.
All right, I got my wife's
I was gonna say, boys, it's time to sign off. We will see y'all next Tuesday when we recap the college football weekend, the NFL weekend, back Wednesday as well. I'm Mark Davis. That's Luke Rule. Shout out to you, Doc and Luke. It's all about the Boss Podcast. Good night and have a good weekend, everyone.